Okay, hello. This video is that I think the moon is a frickin' spaceship, dudes. I know this is going to make me look completely insane in the membrane, and but whatever. I have to. My psychic powers tell me that the moon is a spaceship, and so I want to share that with the world and hear what people say. Maybe you don't agree with me, and you could explain to me why the moon is not a spaceship. Now, I originally got this idea because I think some guy, I think from the YouTube channel Jibodhi, Jogbhodi, some guy who talked to an alien that supposedly the alien told him that the moon is actually older than our sun and was dragged here from another galaxy or another solar system. And there are definitely some weird things about our moon, man, that I don't think scientists have actually thought through all the way. And if you have, please explain it to me. Number one, our moon is way too big. It's almost as big as the Earth. It's like 3,000 miles in diameter. How did it get so close to our moon, to our Earth? If it was that old, by the time it coalesced, as the Earth was coalescing, it would have to coalesce into one planet. So the moon had to have been thrown here. There's another idea that a long time ago, before there was life, a comet came and split the old Earth in two, and so now we have the moon and the Earth, and that's why the Pacific Ocean is so deep, is that's where the moon was cut out from. But if that's true, then why is the composition of the moon so different than the composition of the Earth? The moon is coated in hydrogen powder. Where did this hydrogen powder come from? This hydrogen powder stuff is amazing, by the way. If you fill one space shuttle cargo load full of it, I think it can power like all of the United States for like a year or something like this. I don't know the exact statistics, but if we could figure out how to build a space elevator that would go, I don't know, 200 miles up in the sky, the centrifugal force of the Earth would keep it tight. You would thread it just like just one thin thread all the way up, and then you attach another thin thread to it, and you just make it wider and wider, and then you have a space elevator that you can use. If we had a space elevator, we could cheaply transport moon dust to the Earth, and that would solve all of our energy problems. So maybe somebody else put power dust on there for us to be able to use later, or for them to use. It also has a lot of water underneath, which is explainable. But there's another really strange thing about the moon that nobody has explained to me, is that the moon is in a geodesic orbit around the Earth. That means, that on one side of the Earth, the moon faces us at all times. How did that happen? Every planetary object that spins in its own rotation. How, then, did the moon get in this kind of sync with the Earth? Perfect sync. The only way I can think is if the moon has one super gigantic underground volcano that is filled with iron ore, and so the moon's spinning around, and every time that iron ore comes in line with the Earth, it pulls toward the Earth, and it just slows, and then it just holds it down. Kind of like when you spin a bicycle wheel around, it'll eventually settle with a nozzle on the bottom, because the gravity pulls the nozzle on the bottom. But, I mean, as far as my logic tells, for that to be able to happen, there would have to be one very overwhelmingly strong volcano. But if you look at a sphere, the volcanoes are all over the place. They don't come out just on one side. So I'm thinking somebody deliberately made the moon in a geodesic orbit around the Earth for the purposes of building cities on the other side of it that we cannot see, and then going right to the horizon, right where you can peek over and look at the Earth and put these giant telescopes. So when I look up at the moon, I look at this spaceship, went around the whole periphery, I see these big eyeballs looking right at me. And the astronauts do say that when they flew around the moon, they saw cities, lighted cities there. I mean, they wouldn't tell you that now, but I heard that there were some astronauts who said they thought that, they heard that, they saw that, and that there were actually people who said they saw photos of lighted cities on the other side of the moon before NASA got rid of them. And another weird thing about the moon is that it's hollow. When they did a sound check on it, it rung like a bell, and nothing would ring and reverberate like a bell unless it's hollow. And how could a planet be hollow? So, I mean, maybe what this guy said is true. The moon is a very old planet, older than our sun, from a long ways away. It died, and somebody goes, all right, cool, let's grab this thing, let's refurbish it and bring it over to this Earth place so that we can use it as a base to watch these crazy monkey people and film them. Maybe they could zoom in and film us, and so that they could show us the footage later. Maybe we'll get to watch Julius Caesar getting stabbed from a film that some alien took 2,000 years ago. So what do you think? Is the moon a spaceship? Is the moon an I'm not saying it was artificially created. It could be a planet that just got redone and brought from someplace else. I know this is going to make me sound crazy, but it's just a feeling that I have. Because the universe is so crazy. There's so many possibilities. Maybe that's one. Maybe it is. Now, just since I have a couple of minutes left, Richard Hoagland did write a book called Dark Mission, where he has photos of supposedly taken from NASA of domes on the moon. So it's not just cities on the dark side, but also on the light side. There's photos where you see actually a haze, like a dome haze, and then you actually see a haze over the whole moon, like it has an atmosphere. There's a spire on there, supposedly, that's like a couple miles high, an obelisk. There's a robot head up there. What else did they find up there? Even lattice work from like some kind of a grid building, supposedly they saw up there. And perforated domes. So, I don't know. What do you think? Am I totally nuts? Should I be locked up? Or is the moon a spaceship?